21st April 2022. Morning Murli. Shanti. BapDada. Madhuban. Sweet children, to stay in remembrance of the Father is for a sweet toli which you have to continue to distribute to others. This means you have to continue to give others the introduction of Alpha and Beta. Question: what is the easy way to stay in permanent remembrance? Answer: in order to stay in permanent remembrance, forget your bodies and all bodily relations. While walking and moving around, practice staying in remembrance. If while sitting in yoga, you even remembered the red light, your yoga will break. You won't be able to stay in permanent remembrance. Those who especially ask for someone to conduct meditation for them are unable to have yoga. Song: O traveler of the night, do not become weary. The destination of the Dham is not far off. Shanti. This is a matter of yoga because it is now the night. The Iron Age is called the night and the Golden Age is called the day. You are now going from the Iron Age night into the Golden Age day. This is why you must forget the night and remember the day. Hell has to be removed from your intellects. The intellect says this truly is hell. No one else's intellect can say this. An intellect is in each one's soul. The soul knows that Baba has now come to take you from night into day. The Father says, "O souls, you now have to go to heaven. However, you first have to go to the land of peace and then to the heaven. That is, your yogis are firstly the home and then of the kingdom. The land of death, that is, the night, is now to end. You now have to go into the day, and thus is called godly yoga. Incorporeal God teaches us yoga, that is, He engages our souls to Him. This is spiritual yoga, whereas any other is physical yoga. Your children mustn't have yoga while just sitting in one place. In whatever way people sit, they teach others to sit in the same way. Here, you are not taught to sit in any particular way. Yes, in a gathering, you have to sit with discipline, but you can sit however you like in yoga. You can even have yoga while walking and moving around, or even while lying down. Artists are able to paint pictures while in yoga. They paint pictures of shivbaba with whom they have yoga. They know it is our Baba who resides in the incorporeal world, the supreme abode. We too are residents of there. We souls have to go there. This should remain in your intellects as you walk and move around. You shouldn't ask to be especially seated in tapasya or to have someone conduct meditation for you. That is wrong. Fools would especially request this. The children sit down especially in one place to remember their father. They continue to say Baba, Baba all the time. They never forget him. Little children remember their father even more. Their mouths are always speaking. So why here do you forget the padlucky father? Why does your intellect's yoga break? You mustn't say Baba, Baba. through your lips. You souls know that you have to remember Baba. If you form the habit of especially sitting on one place to have yoga, that is not yoga. God Himself is teaching you this godly yoga. He is called Yogeshwar, the Lord of Yoga. God has taught you yoga. Remember me, your father. You shouldn't feel that you enjoy yoga a lot more when a Didi, when senior sister, sits in front of you to conduct meditation. The yoga of such children cannot remain permanent. For instance, when you have the difficulty of a heart problem, would anyone ask you to conduct yoga? This is a matter of remembering with your intellect. All the types of yoga people teach are wrong. There are no yogis in this world. In fact, when you remember anyone, that is yoga. If you like mango, your yoga is connected to that. If you like the red light and you remember it, then that is having yoga with the light. However, here you have to forget your bodies and all your bodily volitions and have yoga with me alone. Only then will you benefit and become conquerors of sin. The Father alone comes and shows you the path to salvation. No one apart from the Father can grant you salvation. All others show you the path to degradation. Heaven is called salvation, whereas the land of liberation is our home where we souls reside. At this time, it is the dictates of human beings that have made everyone reach degradation. The incorporeal Father comes and grants us salvation, and then we stay in salvation for half the cycle. There no one stumbles from door to door searching for God or to attain liberation or liberation in life. It is only when the kingdom of Ravan begins that you begin to stumble from door to door because you begin to fall. Devotion also has to start. You know, you will now shed your bodies and then go to the Shiv temple. The golden age is the unlimited Shiv temple. At this time, this is a brothel. You have to remember those things. If you don't remember shivbaba, you are not a yogi but a bhogi, means someone who engages in sensual preachers. When you invite people to come and listen to you, they say they will only hear two words from you. The two words are very well known, Man Mana Bhava and Madhyaji Bhava. Remember me and remember your inheritance. Only through these two versions do you receive liberation in life. The Father says, remember me and you will become free from disease. And remember the cycle and you will become wealthy. Through these two expressions, you become ever healthy and ever wealthy. If something is right, you have to follow it. Otherwise, it would be understood that you are a fool. Alpha and beta are two expressions. Alpha is Allah and beta is the creation. Baba is alpha and beta is the sovereignty. Some among you receive the sovereignty and others become subjects. The children have to keep a chart of how long you remembered the Father and your inheritance throughout the whole day. Only the Father gives the Srimad. The Father teaches your souls. People beat their heads so much for wealth. Brahma had a lot of wealth. When he saw that he was going to receive the sovereignty from Alpha, he thought, what am I going to do with this wealth? Why should I not give everything to Alpha and claim the sovereignty? Baba had a song composed based on this. The first one found Allah and the second one received the sovereignty. At that time, it entered his intellect that he was to become Vishnu, the four-armed image. What would I do with this wealth? That was it, because Baba opened the lock on his intellect. Baba was busy accumulating wealth, but when one is receiving a sovereignty, why should one do donkey work? Nevertheless, Baba did not stop. Whoever comes to Baba is sustained very well. They may starve at home, but those who follow Baba's Srimad here receive very good help from Baba. Baba says, show everyone the path, remember the unlimited Father, and also remember the knowledge of the cycle, and your boat will go across. The boatman has come to take your boat across. This is why they remembered the purifier and the boatman. However, no one knows whom they have to remember, because they have said that God is omnipresent. They only refer to the image of Shiv as God. In that case, why do they also call Lakshmi and Narayan as well as Brahma, Vishnu, and Shankar God? If everyone were to become the Father, who would give the inheritance? By God being called omnipresent, neither the one who gives nor those who receive remain. It is written that establishment took place through Brahma, Shiv is standing at the top. Shivbaba creates deities through Brahma, and so Brahma too would become a deity. This is the beauty of the Father alone. It is his praise that is sung as the one, incorporeal one, the image of immortality. The soul is an image of immortality. Death doesn't come to any soul. Therefore, the Father too is the image of immortality. Everyone's body is destroyed. Death never comes to a soul. There is never untimely death there. There you understand that you have to shed a body and take another. If you are in heaven, you definitely take rebirth in heaven. Here, all are residents of hell. They say, so and so went to heaven. Therefore, he must definitely have been in hell prior to that. They don't even understand such an easy matter. Even sannyasis don't know this. They simply say that the light merged into the light. Devotees who are residents of Bharat remember God. Devotees are householders because devotion is for the household path. Those people, when sannyasis, have knowledge of the element of light. They believe they will have yoga with the element of light and merge into it. They believe souls to be perishable. They can never tell the truth. Only the one supreme soul is the truth. You now have the company of the truth, and so all other company is false. In the Iron Age, there are no human beings who speak the truth. No one speaks the truth about the Creator or creation. The Father says, I am now telling you the essence of all the scriptures. In the main scripture, which is the Gita, they have put the name of human being instead of that of the Supreme Soul. Even though Krishna is ugly at this time, you should now create a picture of Krishna so that people are able to understand. You should show him in two shades. On one side, show him to be dark blue, and on the other side, show him to be fair. Then explain to them by saying, by sitting on the pyre of lust, he becomes ugly, and by sitting on the pyre of knowledge, he becomes beautiful. You have to show both paths, the path of isolation and the family path. The Iron Age then becomes the Golden Age. After the Golden Age, there are the Silver, Copper, and Iron Ages. The soul says, previously I was sitting on the pyre of lust, whereas now I am sitting on the pyre of knowledge. Your children now know that from being impure, you are becoming residents of the land of angels. When you create something while you are in yoga, that thing will never go wrong. When your intellects remain still, you receive help. However, it is difficult. Baba says, I too forget. This is very slippery game. You need to practice very well. You are unable to have permanent remembrance. Practice staying in remembrance while walking and moving along. You can remember Baba anywhere. You receive strength by staying in remembrance. At this time, no one knows true yoga. Apart from the Father, all of those who teach you to have yoga are wrong. When God taught yoga, heaven was created. When human beings taught yoga, heaven became hell. When someone has even the slightest wrong activity, his intellect becomes locked. He is unable to stay in remembrance for even 10 to 15 minutes. Otherwise, it should be very easy for old women, children, and those who are ill. It is a very good tool. Even though someone may be deaf and dumb, he too can understand through signals. Remember the Father, and you will receive the inheritance. When people come, tell them, I will show you the path by which you can receive the inheritance of constant happiness of heaven from the unlimited Father, the Creator of heaven. You should continue to distribute small leaflets, etc. Let there be a lot of zeal and enthusiasm in your hearts to explain to those of any religion who come here. The Father says, renounce all bodily religions, remember me, and your sins will be absolved, and you will come to me. First of all, have this faith and then go into other matters. You mustn't move on until then. Consider yourselves to be souls and remember the Father. This is the most first class aspect. There are just the two terms, Alpha and Beta, the Father and the inheritance. Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, long lost, and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the Mother, the Father, BapDada. The spiritual Father says, Namaste to the spiritual children. The spiritual children says, Namaste and good morning to the spiritual Father. Essence for the dharana. First point, surrender everything you have to Alpha and claim the sovereignty. Keep your charge of how long you remember the Father and the inheritance. Second point, don't perform any wrong actions. Practice staying in permanent remembrance. Blessing. May you be a powerful soul who finishes all complaints with all powers and becomes complete. Explanation. If you have any weaknesses in you, then understand the cause of them and find a solution to it, because it is Maya's system that whatever you are weak in, that weakness will not allow you to be a conqueror of Maya. Maya will take benefit from your weakness and will deceive you in the end with that particular weakness. Therefore, accumulate a stock of all powers and become a powerful soul. By experimenting with yoga, finish all complaints and become complete. Remember the slogan, if not now, then never. Slogan, those who finish obstacles with the powers of peace and patience are destroyers of obstacles. Shanti, invaluable, elevated versions of Mateshwariji. What is your real aim? First of all, it is necessary to know what your real aim is. Your intellect has to understand this very well, for only then will you be able to engage yourselves fully in fulfilling that aim. Your real aim is, I, a soul, am a child of Supreme Soul. In reality, I am karmatit, but I have come into bondage of karma by forgetting myself. By remembering this again and by having yoga with God, I am destroying the sins I have committed. So your aim is, I, a soul, am a child of the Supreme Soul. Some might consider themselves to be the same deities and be stable in that aim. Then they would not be able to receive God's power, nor would their sins be absolved. Now we have the full knowledge that we souls are children of the Supreme Soul, will become karmatit and claim the deity status of liberation and life in the future. By staying firm in this aim, you receive power. When people ask for happiness, peace, and purity, they can only be attained when they stay fully in yoga. The deity status is your future reward. Our efforts are different and our reward is also different. So, this aim too is different. I mustn't have the aim of becoming a pure soul and then becoming God. No, I have to have yoga with God and become a pure soul. A soul does not become God. Acha, Om, Shanti.